Welcome to my peculiar life. Welcome back, or just welcome if this is your first time dropping in. So I already recorded this visual podcast yesterday, and I couldn't remember a word, and it got all fucked, so I'm starting over again. But yesterday I was having an ill-fitting underwear kind of day. It's an ill-fitting underwear kind of day when, for whatever reason, you're wearing a pair of underwear that you've procured for yourself. It didn't even come in a care package or the bottom of a Christmas stocking from your neighbor 3 towns over who doesn't know you. It's an actual pair of underwear that you bought for yourself because you need to do laundry or the airlines lost your luggage and you had to go run out and get more underwear, or you saw it and it was on sale and it looked nice and you thought, what the heck, I'll buy this pair of underwear because it looks nice. And then you put it on and you wear it 5 or 6 times, and by that time you can't take it back. And for whatever reason, you've lost all sensibility, and you don't just throw it out. So it somehow gets shoved in the back of your underwear drawer, and then on some fated day when you're not thinking, it's the last pair of underwear in your drawer, and you have to wear this pair of underwear, and then you end up having the ill-fitting underwear kind of day, which is I had. This is what I had. So, and the ill-fitting underwear can take many variations. It can sort of wedge up into parts of your body that make you very uncomfortable on the inside, but you have to look like you're all happy on the outside and things are normal, or it can be too big and it's falling down. So this is fine if you sit all day. If you have an ill-fitting underwear kind of day and you just need to sit and you don't actually have to have your body in motion in any way, shape, or form, and the underwear's falling down, it's okay because you're not going to move anyway. But if you get up and you're walking around, things could get unfortunate. And I'm happy to say that I've never had ill-fitting underwear kind of day when I was wearing a skirt or a dress. But anyway, I'm actually not wearing ill-fitting underwear. It's just that kind of feeling today. It's the same kind of feeling as when you're sitting in the bathtub and you've just had this nice, warm, wonderful bath. Maybe you put some Epsom salts in there, or your, a favorite bath bomb and a little bit of bath oil, and it's scented really nicely, and you had a cup of tea or a cup of wine, and you really checked out from the world, and it calmed you down. That happens. Those bathtub days can be wonderful, and then you decide, all right, now I'm warm and snuggly, maybe even a little too warm. It's time to drain the tub and get out, and so you do. And for whatever reason, you drain the tub and you don't get out. And then you're stuck. You're sitting in that bathtub and there's no water in it anymore. And you've got that bathtub just drained kind of feeling. And everything feels depleted and you feel a little silly. And you've lost that warm, cuddly feeling from the water just washing over you. And it's just like you question why you didn't get out. And you sit there and you think, should I fill it up again and make it like this nice, warm, watery bath? And then you realize you can't revisit that the moment is over. Or you think, I just got to get up. It's just awful. I got to get up, but at least the tub is empty. I'm feeling kind of chilled because I was silly enough to sit here after all that warm water drained off my body. And now what? So you feel you're exiting the depletion, and it can actually be good. This is good. It's a good thing in life to be depleted because maybe you need to fill it up with some new good stuff. So that's it. That's all I was thinking about in terms of the bathtub and the underwear, until I remembered that I had a job. I had a job right out of college when there weren't many jobs to be had. And I was home. I was living with my mom. I worked at a fancy pants shishi hotel. And I got a job there. And there were 2 head honchos who were on site all the time. There was the general manager of the hotel. And he was this elegant, beautifully groomed, intelligent man. He could go 8 weeks without seeing you, and he'd remember your first and last name and ask how you were doing and if you needed anything. And he meant it. He would stand there and wait. And then his colleague was a guy, and I'm not going to say his name, but I can see his face, and he was the antithesis to the head honcho. He was second in command, but he looked like he hadn't bought any new suits since he graduated high school, and he was long out of high school. Had a comb-over hair that was sort of dark brown, and a mustache that was just a couple of hairs past Hitler's mustache, which made him look like kind of acceptable, but it was also a little creepy. And always a 5 o'clock shadow. It didn't matter if you saw him at 8 a.m. He had the extra wide mustache and the 5 o'clock shadow and the suit that looked like there were going to be body parts bursting out of it any minute now that you prayed to God you didn't see, because really it just didn't fit. And you were thought, please God, let it not come apart. I watched for him when we had a really fine baking and cooking dining area, and the pastry chefs there would make some of the most amazing concoctions, confectionaries, things of goodness. They were just amazing things. And there was a cake, and it had candles on it in the dining room, one of the dining rooms. And I was really nervous that this second in command guy was going to stand too close, because it was just going to be poof ends for him. I knew that those suits were too small, and they were made of questionable material. Now, there was a rumor circulating around the hotel that he was very frugal, that he and his wife and children were a very frugal family, which is to be admired. It is. However, either there was some kind of vexation among a couple of disgruntled employees who decided to make up a story, or this is really true. But they said because he was so frugal, the family only did laundry twice a month. And it was a family of like 5, let's say 5. It could have been 4, it could have been 6, thereabouts. And if you're if you're a functioning human being in this world right now, you do know that laundry gets done more than every 2 weeks if you have more than one person living in your house. I personally do laundry every week. I live alone. I know mothers of just a couple kids who have to do laundry every day. So they were just trying to keep the water bill down, and as a result of that, someone found out or made up that he would wear a pair of underwear 3 days in a row and then turn it inside out and wear it 3 days on the reverse side. And so already I'm having bad thoughts connected to my olfactory senses, and I imagine you are too. But we had an expression for that 6th day of underwear wearing. And when we were having a bad day there, we called it the 3rd day on the second side. And it was just laced with fatigue and really uncomfortable scent and anguish. And to this day, I can say, well, at least things aren't going well, but at least it's not the 3rd day on the second side. And so there you have it. Just it's not as bad as the 3rd day on the second side, and also we're all probably a little depleted right now. We all have that, just the bathtub just drained and what comes next sort of feeling. And we've all been cut off from each other for the past couple of years now, really. So I'll ask you just to remember that we've all been depleted, that we've all had loss, that we've all watched sickness and chaos, and it's given us some time to think. So instead of thinking about being pissed off and how cut off we all are, think about how much we still have and take count of that. because that's a good thing. And that's it. That's all I have to say today. So, be kind, be loving, be fair, be honest, and leave the earth a little bit better than when you found it. Take care.